Hi, Marilyn here again with Hancy Creations and Full Line Stencils. I am doing this quick video to show you some tips about using our border stencils. I'm using this butterfly stencil right here on the inner border of this little quilt that I'm making, and the corner piece did not give me enough room, so I'm bypassing using the corner piece, but I am gonna follow the same design technique that they use just by sweeping that round line around, along the outside of the border there. So I'm just gonna swipe across the number 2 transfer and go for this last one, and same thing, I'm gonna go up and around and with that corner line so that it sweeps to the outside as if I did use the corner artwork there. Basically you want to make sure it is nice and centered within the width of your border, and I'm going to do this number 3 transfer, and on this last one, this is where you find out just how good you are, because the last one has to work out no matter what, and it's going to work out just fine. I just have to not do that last butterfly. So I'm going to go to the 3rd butterfly. And you just play with the borders. Sometimes you use a corner, sometimes you don't. And this is the look that I'm after. I'm going to take a pencil and fill in the lines just so I know when I'm sewing what I'm going to do, and see how I sweep that up and around. This one I have to do a little differently. I'm just going to come down and connect there and remove that line so I don't get confused. And then same with this last one. See how it all has like a U shape that goes to the outside. Give it some consistency. Now I'm going to do the inside border of the flowered fabric, and luckily this stencil, it only needs one repeat to fit perfectly. All I'm doing is making sure that the diamond in the center is lined up in the center of the piece, which is super easy because it's just a bunch of half square triangles. I also make sure that it is centered widthwise within the border. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some parallel lines on either side of this border to really make it pop. You'll see in the end. And I apologize about my camera not being positioned too well, and I'm cutting off what you need to see. Didn't know that was happening, but you can still see enough to know what I'm doing. Okay, and after I get this last one, I'm going to move to the outside border. Okay, now I'm going to do the outer border, and this is where I'm going to have an example of what to do when your border doesn't fit. What I'm doing here is that diamond in the outer edge is where you want it to turn the corner. So make sure it's centered within the piece that it's in, and also in the corner, the 90-degree angle. Okay, and so then I'm going to do the other outside corner and work my way in. I'm going to turn the stencil around so that the finished diamond is there on the outer edge, and in that corner you make sure it's centered going both directions of that 90-degree turn. And then once you got that there, you'll transfer it. And no matter how big your border is, this is how you would do it. You'd work your way into the middle. This time it only takes one repeat and I'm in the middle, so maybe it was big and I did 4 of them. I end up with this space right there. So the way you do that is you line up one side. I'm not going to overlay that part, but you want it lined up. See, I'm just going to do that football shape. And I'm not going to do the whole entire thing. I only do about halfway like that. Then you go to the other side, pull it that way, line it up, and then also go about halfway so that the lines meet. It's off slightly, no one will ever notice, and your corners are going to work out, and that's the important thing. And so now it's time to sew, and I am just going to start out with the butterflies. This is a really fun pattern. I can see the chalk a lot better than you can. I'm not sure why. It's just tough to get a good camera angle on it. And over here I am doing the oval diamond section of the border, and I'm just going to follow those lines. Now I'm going to outline them with my ruler. I'm making two parallel lines on each side to really pop that border. They're a 1/4 inch apart. And while I'm at it, I'm going to outline some other stitching in the ditch. Then lastly, I do the outer border, and again I'm doing two parallel lines around the edge. I love using that ruler, it's a lot of fun. And then there's the last outside line, and I'm done. Before I called it finished, I had to add this to the little triangles. Now it's done, looks great. It's gonna look great on my table. Here's the back. You can really see how those lines just make those borders pop. Thanks for watching. Happy quilting.